It's hard to say let's tighten up today. I'm gonna be honest with you. But let's tighten up. It's your boy the One Piece Shark back here again. Uh yeah, it's a tough day. The name of this episode is Devastation. Because that's what it was. It was devastating, deflating, whatever you want to call it. But we're gonna get through it. We always do. Just remember, follow me on Twitter at the one underscore P Shark for my personal profile. Follow the Titans page at LBR Tighten Up. If you want to get some positivity and you like the Memphis Grizzlies, I have a Grizzlies podcast, and the Grizzlies are doing well. So if you want somebody to cheer for the rest of this season, follow me at the starting five, the number 5 MEM. And we just had a new episode today. And we have a new episode every single Monday for the rest of the season. If you want some type of positivity, if you're a Grizzlies fan. And if you don't have an NBA team, come join the Grizzlies bandwagon. And I promise you, you're going to at least get some excitement with Ja Morant. But I got a couple of guests coming on, my guys, my Memphis brethren. So let's get it started after this promo. Welcome to Let's Be Real Media, a podcast network that provides your official game plan for sports, culture, and music. Headlined by the Let's Be Real podcast, featuring P Shark, Sky Lido, Tel Shakir, Trevor, Sheedy, and Savage, and includes other podcasts like the I Don't Know Sports podcast by Savage, the Let's Tighten Up podcast by P Shark, Scooting with Sheedy by none other, the name says it itself, Sheedy, Pittsburgh County podcast by Trevor, and Let's Talk About It by Uncle Mike. You can follow us on social media at LB Real Media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And as you can see, the website, go on the website, lbrealmedia.com to check us out. Thanks. All right. Welcome back to the Let's Tighten Up podcast. Got my guys, Ryan Harris, as you see his name. Ryan Harris, not Tannehill. Don't get it confused.
Don't get it confused. Don't get it confused.
Hey, other guy, man. Y'all seen him, recurring guest, Chris Dillard, man. How y'all guys doing?
Yes, sir. Good to be here, man.
Let's do it, man. Good to be here.
Got my black on, man, because it was a funeral.
Yeah.
All right, man. As y'all know with me with the show, man, I like to bring it in slowly. So before we get to Ryan Tannehill and Todd Downing, let's start off with what failed outside of them. Sure, they were 99.9% of the problem, but for the other 0.1%, the 0.1% that failed outside of those two. Ryan, you go first, then Chris.
I'll say this. I guess, at this point we're just kind of nitpicking, but I mean, I guess the defense could have did a better job in tackling in regards to like Jamar Chase. Jamar, caught a pass that should have been like a 3 or 4 yard game. Fulton missed him, or he basically just gave him the ole, as they say, and he just took it, 57 yards. That kind of led to a field goal. Also, you can also say the defense in the second half kind of came out lackadaisical. That was basically the Bengals' best drive of the game, where they kind of just ran the football. They kind of did whatever they want to the Titans defense. And like I said, I'm just nitpicking at this point because other than that, the defense was just off the chain. But I would say, the tackling could have been a little bit better, and maybe, the defense could have came out a little bit with more intensity in that second half.
Yeah, same thing I said, man. I said the DBs probably played their worst game of the season, really, with tackling. I think it was like a screenplay to Mixon, and Fulton, Molden, and Long were all in position to tackle him, and they went for like 30 yards or whatever. And that led to their first field goal. And then the second field goal was Jamar Chase. Fulton went up high. All he had to do was hit his legs. Dude went 60 yards. That led to the second field goal. So our DBs probably played their least disciplined game of the season. And then on the last drive, Jenkins, I don't know what happened. He just lost Chase, and he was wide open on the sideline. So I think our DB play definitely failed us. I also think Mike Vrabel failed us because he was extra aggressive to begin the game with that 2-point conversion. Because we hadn't played in like 2 weeks, and we started the game off slow. So psychologically, going up 7-6 will look a whole lot better for your team and all that, get the fans riled up. And then why didn't he call a timeout on that field goal? You know what I'm saying? We had one timeout left. Why not try to ice the kicker? Dude was on fire. He came out with confidence. Why not try to, see him kick the field goal, make it, and then call timeout, let him kick it again? So I don't understand that. And then of course we can always blame the refs, right? I mean, the refs, they always make bad calls, but there were a lot of false start penalties. I felt like they could have been called. I think on the Bengals' first drive, I think Burrow got sacked, and they called like a delay of game after he got sacked, and that would have put him out of field goal range. So why wait until after the play? Why not just call it dead, before it plays out or whatever? So I think the refs screwed us over. Mike Vrabel, DBs, outside of Tannehill, and of course Downing. So.
Yep, man, I agree with y'all, man. First to get to a couple comments. Shout out to our listeners or viewers. JD10, man, what it do? Tighten up. Lorenzo McNeil, Ryan got to go. Let's make sure that we talk about
yes.
Ryan Tannehill. Bro, we got a guy named Ryan on the show. Ryan, yes, you see his name, Ryan Harris, not Tannehill. So Ryan Tannehill got to go. I know what Lorenzo means. But same here, like I said, we're very nitpicky in this, and that's why I like to start off slow. Let's not get to the fireworks yet. They just start off with the 0.1%. Of course, the defense tackling that first tackle, Christian Fulton. Then I understand, him and Chase were high school and college teammates.
Right, best friends.
You're gonna give up in this man's face. I'm like, bro, he just smoked you down the field, broke a tackle.
Right.
Right, you don't get your foot back on defense.
I'm glad they didn't call a flag on that play or something.
Right.
Also, David Long, and that was very uncharacteristic of David Long.
Yeah,
he normally
just like launched at him. He didn't try to tackle. He just tried to, hit him.
Like, I don't know. And you know what? I'm a former football player, played in high school. When it's cold outside, maybe, he probably wasn't warmed up yet. The game had just started. When it was cold outside, trust me, I played linebacker in high school too. When it was like 30 degrees one time, I did exactly what he did one time. I didn't rap for him. It's cold, so I gave him the benefit of the doubt because it was very beginning. I was like, "You probably cold." As a former football player, I saw that, but still, man, this playoffs, you gotta make that tackle. Like I said, we're very nitpicking because even like the last play with Janoris Jenkins, I don't know what he did, but it's kind of hard to blame that on defense. I mean, when it boiled down to it, we had 9 sacks. We should have been 11. That goes back to the referees. I knocked out a field goal, maybe out of field goal range because Ray McPherson was kicking out.
Man, right.
Ain't no telling, but that was gonna be a harder kick if not out of field goal range. So that's 16 points. And then to play the other sack when I think we ended up stopping them anyway. But they got the timeout. They said they called timeout. And we already hit Joe Burrow. And actually, I was concerned for Joe Burrow at that point. I was like, that's a safety issue at this point. Like, like we about to hurt it, man. If y'all keep letting these plays go on, let us hit them after the play and then call the stuff. Like, so y'all got to do better. Jerome Boger, he wasn't out there, but his spirit was definitely in those moments. Dude. Man, get before the comments real quick. It's over there. My bad.
I said the spirit was out there.
Chris, like, what it do, man? What a stroke. Tighten up. Go Tires kicking out the tail. Yeah, it got to be next season now, man. But let's go. Jack Gray like he was playing zone, even though he had help over the top. Good point.
Yeah, that sound like what happened.
Yeah, that sound because it's exactly what like to happen too. Like he was playing like a cover 2. For the Max, what's going on for those new followers of the show? Showing forward to y'all content, man. Appreciate you. Know you tuned in to Titans and Truth. He was on the show, tuned in last night while I was with Titans and Truth last night. But let's get back to Titans Bengals review. Now let's get to the nitty gritty. Ryan Tannehill, Todd Downing. We all saw what happened. What's next steps with both of them? Chris, you go first, and Ryan next.
Well, first, I think we need to. Well, okay, so it was really both of them, but I think the common denominator is Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill is the common denominator. I think he showed us who he really is. He's a guy that's gonna get us. We're gonna win the AFC South every year because the division sloth, but winning a playoff game on his shoulders is just not gonna happen. I think that's who he really is. And even if we get a new OC next year, which I think we will. I think they're gonna end up firing Todd Downing and get another OC. But I don't think that's gonna solve all our problems. I think that Ryan Tannehill, I think we have one more year with him, and then we'll probably, draft somebody or trade or whatever, get a veteran quarterback. But I just think that's who he really is, man, and we just have to accept that and try to put pieces around him, and hopefully the new OC, whoever comes in, won't put him in positions for failure. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like he stares down receivers too much. He stares them down, and I think that sometimes the moment is just too big for him. And I think he would need like Derrick Henry to, he needs that running back by committee. We need to get that running game going and get him out the pocket, get him warmed up. But ultimately, I think that it is Ryan Tannehill, but we're not going to get rid of him because of that cap hit. I think that the OC will probably be going.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Chris. Pretty much everything. If you look at Ryan Tannehill, 3 interceptions. I mean, you can't win you can't win playoff game with your quarterback throwing 3 interceptions, bro. You just really can't do it. And then those 3 interceptions came in the worst possible time. Your first interception was the very first play of the game.
Yes.
Your second interception came on the first pass in the second half. After which, you ran the ball very well. That's on Todd Downing. But your very first pass in the second half is an interception, and then your very last pass of your season is an interception.
Right. Just like last year.
Yep. Exactly.
So it's like you fool me once, that's shame on me. But fool me again, or fool me once, shame on you. Fool me again, that's shame on me. So how many times are we gonna, keep doing this? You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, and then you're targeting the wrong receivers. You got AJ Brown, you got Julio Jones. In 2020, you're targeting Khalif Raymond. In 2021, you're targeting NWI, who hadn't had a catch all game. And you're throwing it in triple coverage, where you had Perkser wide open up the middle. Probably wouldn't be a first down, but you're at least getting something. And then you got Hilliard, who was open as a check down. And that's the thing that I kind of have an issue with Tannehill. He never takes the safe throws. It's been like that really the entire season, where Henry will be open on the flat, or whoever's the running back, whether it's Foreman or Hilliard or even McNichols at times. He refuses to take the safe throw. He refuses to, throw the ball away when there's nothing there. And, I got some stats, for you. Look at this. So Ryan Tannehill, 5 starts now. That's enough of a sample size to kind of indicate what kind of quarterback you're going to have in the postseason. 62.7% passing completion percentage. Not getting it done. You really want your quarterback somewhere between 70 to 75%. And then this is the stat that really kind of blow me away. He's averaging 150 yards passing per game in 5 games in the postseason.
Wow.
That's not good. Yeah. With 7 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. And 5 of those touchdowns were in the 2019 playoff run.
2019, yeah. And in those games that we won, he threw less than 15 pass attempts. So he needs Derrick Henry to run for 100 yards for us to even have a chance. That's pitiful, man.
Yeah, and and Tannehill, the analytics like this stat called QBR, right? Where 100 is perfect, 50 is about average, 0 is bad. So Ryan Tannehill's QBR on Saturday was 10.4. It's not. That's just. I say this. It's better than 0, but not much better. So
that's terrible, man.
Yeah. So to me, I put it like this. If Tannehill and Downing come back, you're going to get the same stuff. You're going to win the South, just like Chris said, because the division is bad. But we're going to be one and done. All right, we're going to win the South. We're going to run the South, and we're going to be one and done after that. So either both of them got to go, or one of them got to go. You just got to make the decision. You got to make the decision on who's who.
And financially, we can't get rid of Tannehill. You know, we're stuck with him based off his contract. So it's got to be Todd Downing.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, TNT has made it in. Adding to the stream. What did it do?
What's going on?
What's up, fellas? Sorry I'm late.
It's all good, my guy. Man, So, of course, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, let me add a little bit more into this. You know, we're talking about Tannehill, and as Shark already knows, I'm out on Tannehill. I'm done. I can't do it anymore because I mean that last interception was the straw that broke my back, and it just broke my heart in ways that you cannot imagine. And the stat that was troubling to me, and this was going into the games, is that we started off slow yet again. You know, out of now 18 opening drive possessions, we go 3 and out, 13 of those, 14 of those 18 possessions, whether it's a turnover or we punt the ball away. So, you know, that's unacceptable. And the fact that the one thing that we were asking you to do is not to turn the ball over. It's a very simple thing. I mean, use your running game, use AJ and Julio, and let your defense help you win it. You don't have to do much, but instead, I mean, staring down. I mean, it was a trip that Jesse Bates, the Cincinnati Bengal safety, said on the interview on that first play, he knew where the play was going. He knew exactly where it was going. There was no route on the other side. It's single high safety. So, you know, if there's nobody on this side to help him be like, oh, which way do I need to go? You see Julio right there like, oh, no, I need to go to him. Ain't nobody over here to worry about. So I'm going to make sure he don't get the ball and bang, pick. So Tannehill's not the answer. And Downing obviously not the answer either. And like I said, the way that Vrabel made it sound like he was backing both of them, and basically meaning that if both of those guys are coming back, it's going to be hard to. It will be very, very difficult to sell to any of us. Why should we believe that things are going to be better than what it is? Because, like I said, the way this is going to be just status quo. Tannehill is not good enough. He's okay. Win you a couple of games, a division here and there if the division is weak. Yep. Now, if the division is stronger, we might have a problem. And if I remember correctly, a certain guy down in Jacksonville with flowing hair by the name of Trevor Lawrence is only going to get better. And they have a number 1 pick in the draft. And they're probably going to get maybe a better coach. So, I mean, it's not exactly a lot that we're going to win the division next year. So, if they're trying to sell us the status quo, it's not going to cut it.
Yep, I totally agree. Honestly, if that happens, if they bring both of them back, I'm just going to, like you said, we're not going to believe. I'm just going to temper my expectations. That, like, you know, this year was Super Bowl bust. If they bring them back, okay, we made the playoffs last 2 years, won the division. I expect it. Get a playoff win. Just one playoff win, please. That's all I'm asking for at this
point. We've seen this before.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. It gets to some comments, man. Phyllis said it's bigger than them. We have philosophy issues. Everyone wants to run this old Charlie Weiss and it was true. Game man, shit offense that don't work anymore. Yeah, if you watch that Kansas City Buffalo game and you think you about to beat them with this offense, no matter who at quarterback, with that offense,
exactly. and that, Char, you was talking about this last night, and that's something that I think Titan fans needed to realize. They need a dose of reality. The question is, and I asked the Titan fan this earlier today, and it is a really honest question. You got to be honest with yourself. Even if we had won that game, understanding Joe Burrow, that's a real quarterback on the other side.
Yes.
Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, those are real quarterbacks. My question is, even if we had won, could we be honest with ourselves and say, even though we're at home, the way Tannehill played, we could have actually beaten Kansas City? Like,
let me tell you.
No.
I told my wife in the third quarter of that game, I said, even if we win this game, we ain't winning the next game. And she got on me about, no, believe in your team. I was like, we ain't winning with them, man. Quarterback. I think it was after his second pick. Because although that was a bad play call, as a quarterback, you looked and you saw the defender is right there, man. Like,
right.
And you still do the
I mean, it got to a point where it was like every time he threw the ball, you just held your breath because it's like this man about to throw another interception. Like I just know it's coming.
Yeah, and it's like the worst thing about that was that play was ran twice, and the corner knew what that on the second pick. He knew what that play was because he's on Chester Rogers in the slot, Mike Hilton. And then as soon as he looking at Tannehill, he sneaks over like, I'm finna blitz again. Did the same thing, came up, put his hands up, and Tannehill just threw it right at him.
Yeah.
And somebody said to me, he was like, but it was a screen pass. I'm like, if you see somebody coming directly at you and you're setting up a screen to that side, you just throw the ball in the dirt and live to fight another down.
Right.
And the worst thing about it was if you really look at that play, and I think it was No Flags film, he does some great work. The way that Hilton was going at Tannehill was here. He didn't go directly like straight line to Tannehill.
Yeah,
he kind of went off to his right because he knew he was about to pass. So he went off. He didn't go right at him, but he went off a little bit to the right. So he's gonna throw to his right, come and bat it up, and then tipped it to himself. It was just a good play.
So it's like Tannehill's lack of pre-snap reads and looking things off, and audibling things like that. It's like he already knows what he's going to do before the play even starts. You know what I mean? It's just
he knew he was going to.
Yeah,
right, the whole time.
Yeah, and Tannehill, he throws a very interceptable pass. So I'm surprised that he just only got 14 interceptions. He very well could have been in the 20s.
He throws the ball too hard. It's too hard, and they're low, hard. It's just they're easily to bat up in the air.
Or bat off of a guy.
Yeah,
I got a question. I asked this to the guys at Tennessee Titans Weekly on their show yesterday, and everybody told me Mike Shanahan, and this is where the question is going. I was like, what's the difference between Tannehill and Jimmy G? Because Jimmy G has worse playoff stats. I think I forgot what the guys, Nick Wrighthead posted his stats yesterday. He's 4-1 in playoffs, but he showed them stats, and I was like, and even yesterday, I got 49ers. One of my friends here, 49ers fan, his podcast, Fat Boy Fadeaway. He said he was like, Jimmy G threw like 3 pick six capable passes in that Packers game. They just didn't catch him. They dropped him.
Right.
And I was like, maybe is it just luck? Like, do we just have to get lucky with Tannehill? Because if Jimmy G can make it to the Super Bowl NFC Championship game, like how come Tannehill just can't do enough?
First off, why are you listening to Nick wrong of all people?
It's just my timeline.
I know. Oh my God, I know that dude. You probably can't tell him nothing today. He's probably like the happiest somebody on earth.
Yeah, Chiefs fan, ain't it?
Yeah.
The bias shows. The bias shows with him. You can tell. It's like it's not even a biased point. The Chiefs could be 1-7. He's putting them at the top like they're the best team in the league or something like that. But I mean, Jimmy G, every game that Jimmy G wins, it's going to make it hard for them to get rid of him.
Yep.
But really, though,
I think they got
to answer your question. Yeah, but to me, though, to answer your question, Shar, it's really just Shanahan. Shanahan knows what he got with Jimmy G. He knows what Jimmy G can do. He knows what he can't do. And he got the weapons. He knows how to use Deebo Samuel. He knows how to use George Kittle. He knows how to use Brandon Ayuk. So he knows how to use those guys, and he knows what kind of quarterback he has. So that's why it works with Jimmy G as opposed to what the Titans have with Ryan Tannehill.
And I agree with that answer. And I saw that game. They had a 3rd and 7. They did not trust Jimmy G to pass it. And guess what? They didn't. They put Deebo in the backfield, handed him the ball, and he got a first down.
Yep.
So I'm like,
exactly.
Why can't
and they got lucky. They got lucky. They scored off of a special teams punt block.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's luck.
Yeah.
I
mean, you gotta. I agree. And shout out to Oldest Truck, by the way. I know he said something, but I mean, it's just is paying attention to detail. And that's something that Todd Downing has a lot of trouble with. It's like he doesn't have a feel for the game. And sometimes he tries to fix what's not broken.
Right.
It's like
y'all remember that 3rd and 1? It was like 3rd and 1, and it was like shotgun, and it was like a read option or something like that.
The read
to
option.
Tannehill. Why not give that ball to Derrick Henry?
Yep.
Because usually that read option usually works.
Yeah.
That read option usually works. That's probably the first time probably all year where it's like, dang, that read option didn't work at all. Like the dude, like big guy he did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Yep.
He read the play, stayed home.
Yeah.
And made the play. A lot of other teams have not been able to do that, and that was the first.
I'm saying, like, why not like QB sneak that, or why not just you're going to go in the I formation or something like that? Just go up the middle.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry's going to fall forward 3 yards. You know what I'm saying? And then the 4th and 1 play, now you want to run the ball in, where it's 8 in the box, and they already know what you're going to do. So,
or
I just think you should have been a little bit more creative with that.
Or Tannehill reads the option correctly and actually hand the ball off to Henry.
Right.
Or quarterback sneak. Although that did look like a very long 1 yard.
That was long. That wasn't
like
1 yard.
Long 1 yard.
That was like a yard and a half. Yeah.
Right.
You know,
we lost a yard or half a yard on that read option. So it is what it is. Hopefully Vrabel was trolling today, or John Robinson. You know what? I trust in J-Rob because I remember when Mike Mularkey saying same thing about Terry Robisky. Now Vrabel is not getting fired. He ain't gonna do like he did Mike Mularkey. Not this year. No. But he probably gonna tell them like, nah, Downing got to go. I'm pretty sure. I trust John Robinson. If he don't, man, good luck. Don't be complaining about fans not coming to the stands. Don't be complaining about Logan Ryan, what he said next year.
Yeah,
right.
And that's going to be a key, because it's like I said earlier, you're not going to be able to sell the fans this status quo of I believe in Downing and Tannehill and the rest of the personnel's the problem. Nah, you can't use that personnel speech this time.
It's different.
It might have been lightning in a bottle last year. We were all clamoring for Bowen. And again, like I said before, Shane Bowen, I'm sorry. but
we sorry.
You know, Todd Downing is not the guy. He's not going to be able to do the job. And you might be able to sell us, let's say, Tim Kelly, former OC in Houston, or Pep Hamilton and Tannehill. You might be able to sell us that. But you're not going to sell us Tannehill and Downing. It's not going to work.
Exactly. Shane Bowen is different, because I could tell you last year watching the defense, we had no pass rush. I knew we needed Danico Autry and Bud Dupree. Like, that was more than they went further. And plus, Shane Bowen wasn't officially the DC. So we really don't know who was really calling plays. So it was really like a confusion altogether. So once he actually got the DC title, then you bring in Jim Schwartz, then you make all those changes.
I hope Jim Schwartz comes back next year too. I hope he stays in that same position, because we needed him.
And I love the players advocating for Harold Landry to get re-signed. So it looked like Harold Landry, he gonna be sticking around.
Yeah, I hope so, man. Bud Dupree can restructure his contract easily.
Yes.
Byers said the same thing.
Byers he will.
Yeah, Byers already got his restructure for Clowney. Yeah, so that sends a message to me.
He tweeted like, "I'll do it again."
He do it again.
That's a real player.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
Real team player right there. Philip said, "Top offense are about Yak. That's the difference between Jimmy G and Tanny. 49ers run crossing, which we used to do.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah,
Can't let that at least didn't play. Now push it down the field.
Just throw a 5-yard slant. AJ Brown."
Arch Smith was perfect for that, and you had Julio, so you could have AJ and Julio crossing each other.
Right?
Man, come on,
we miss you, Arthur.
Hey, we showed. But I want to go back to the question Al Pierce asked. He said, "Okay, of course, about trading the quarterbacks. The obvious names are Rodgers, Wilson, and Watson. Which division rival? They not trading them to us. That's not happening.
Plus, he's not gonna. Is he
gonna play?
Sharky, you're gonna understand this. Deshaun Watson ain't gonna be able to throw touchdown passes from 201.
We all know that.
We all know that. Yeah.
Yeah. He ain't gonna be able to throw passes from 201 or from the penalty farm. Not gonna have to work.
Oh, you gotta be joking. Right. Oh man, I hope everything gets straight with him. But as long as he got my division, get him out my division right
get him
now. But can we eat the cap? I know someone else said, I think Philip said we couldn't, but like we mentioned last night on Truth Show, man, if the Rams can find a way to trade Goff,
there's a way.
There's a way.
There's a way. I mean, it's gonna be expensive, might be a little painful, but in the end, it'll work itself out. So yeah, if there's a will, there's a way. And honestly, of the three, I think Wilson would be the best option. But I would not mind Aaron Rodgers if he really wants out of Green Bay. As much as I don't like that guy personally,
right?
He's 100% better than Tannehill.
Yeah. Although he's choking in the postseason, he still has won a Super Bowl. He still wins MVP.
Right.
Like he's basically our new Peyton Manning, regular season quarterback. Get to postseason. Right. He got a Super Bowl. He might get one in the back end of his career as a lesser talent. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers, man, I see no reason why they wouldn't want to come here. Rodgers or Wilson. Right. I mean, you see Tannehill, you see Julio, AJ, and Derrick Henry, and you like what the Broncos still got a lot of talent. I can see Aaron Rodgers want to go there. But Russell Wilson, Sierra, Nashville, she want to extend her career. Nashville ain't a bad place to come to. Like,
Right.
That's true.
Like, close to Atlanta,
Close to Atlanta,
yeah. Might be too close to Future.
Man, that's facts. I've heard Wilson person. Yeah, Russell Wilson, man. I agree that if we can get those two that can capitalize in the experience, I'd be okay with that. Maybe, but it's still coming down to the playoffs. He would have to just prove us wrong at that point.
Right. Just prove it wrong.
Right.
But all right, man. We'll put this in the back pocket and move forward. Unfortunately, to the rest of the teams that still played this past weekend. I know. That's gonna say you want dangerous. If I heard we wait until June or July 1st, his cap hit goes down. Now, I could be wrong. You're looking to that.
I think post like with Tannehill in a trade. I think if you trade him, you save $10 million. You save $10 million against the cap, and I think it's like I want to say it's $29 million after June 1st.
Okay.
That you can save. So post June 1st might be the best bet. Only problem is
that's late.
A lot of the offseason you've missed.
Right. That's late.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phil said, how y'all feel about trading for Jalen Hurts? I don't think the Eagles are sold on him, but
they're not gonna do it.
That's Mario 2.0.
Right. Now, I ain't gonna front. On the lesser end, just to bring in a backup quarterback who could probably challenge Tannehill, I wouldn't mind trading a low pick for Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, Gardner Minshew. Yeah, I like
He's gonna bring some type of idea.
Not a bad idea.
Nah, I'm not opposed to that. Yeah.
But my solution is, I think I said that on Truth show last night, possibly, draft the quarterback. I know this is supposedly a weak class. When Pat Mahomes came out, that was a weak class too. Now, I ain't saying one of these quarterbacks will end up being Pat Mahomes, but I could see a quarterback falling to us, or we ain't got to trade up far out. And I told somebody on Twitter Spaces last month, I was like, I would trade. I would actually trade up. Right now, I would do what San Francisco, not to that extent, but do what San Francisco did last year with Jimmy G. Like trade up, get Trey Lance, have him sit behind him for a year. And the Chiefs did that with Pat Mahomes. Alex Smith was quarterback. They knew he couldn't get him over the top. They went and got Pat Mahomes. He sat behind him for 1 year. If we were to get a quarterback and we got Tannehill back, but we got a rookie sitting behind him for 1 year, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Or a first round rookie with some talent.
And what's crazy, I just looked at some mock drafts like earlier. Malik Willis from Liberty looks like he would be down there late in the first round as somebody that could be either we go with or could be a tradable piece. Something like, hey, somebody want to come up and maybe we, get an extra second round pick, get that second round pick back that we lost with Julio, that, if there's a quarterback or two still on the board or I think it's Desmond Ridder from Cincinnati could be another option as well. So
I don't like him. I don't know why.
I don't know. I think it's because we have that bad taste in our mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he killed Memphis, but it's like his other game. He got better from his like sophomore year, but he still, to me, is not like I don't see him as an NFL quarterback for whatever reason. He just don't. Maybe
I'm big on Willis though. I'm big on Malik Willis though.
Yeah, I'm big on him for whatever reason. I think because the small school, him sitting, if he sit for a year, I can really see him kind of manifest.
I like Sam Howell. Tape on him. Yeah.
I like Sam Howell if he falls, but I can see Mitch another Mitch Trubisky out of him as well too.
Right.
Pickett ain't falling that far.
No.
I don't like Matt Corral. I've seen a lot of Ole Miss games. I don't care for Matt Corral. Man, I may be the only one on that one.
And then the kid in Nevada, I think it's Carson Strong. I think for what I'm hearing, he's more like a statue quarterback. He's had the knee issues. I'm like, no, I don't know if we need a injury-prone quarterback. We've already dealt with that.
Marcus Mariota and Jake Locker.
Jake Locker,
right?
Yes. But I was still check out Saquon. I know Philip told me to check him out earlier. I'm gonna check out 2023. It's loaded, but we got to be a bad team to get there. We're not gonna be bad.
Yeah. Now, I got a question. I got a question for y'all, and I think somebody might have brought this up to me a while back. And as much as this probably pains me, because I said this before, I don't know if I would want any quarterback from this particular state. What would you consider with Tua?
I love Tua coming out. I love Tua coming out, but injury prone, and I don't see him being much more than a game manager quarterback. By the way, he's been looking like
he's basically a younger Mariota at this point,
right? Hawaiian.
Yeah.
That is exactly why I asked that question. I just wanted to see.
Oh man, so let's go. Hey, we got another comment on A-Rod and Russell Vader far-fetched. Of course, we already discussed that. Hey, it's far-fetched, but I at least want to hear about an attempt to at least
try.
Yeah, at least try. I need to hear about an effort.
At least be in the rumors.
What y'all think about drafting Iowa State tight end 3rd round? That's fine. We definitely need to tight end. I know they're
all the tight ends
and offensive line. I tell you now, those two position groups are getting revamped in some form
and
of
a speedy wide receiver.
Yes.
Speed.
Yes. We've been asking for that for 3 years now. True.
More than 3.
Too long.
It's like what's worse? Us asking for a speedy receiver in the Titans or the Grizzlies throughout the grit and grind era asking for a shooter. Like we never got a shooter.
Same thing, man.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying. We've been begging for a 3-point shooter for a long time.
Chandler Parsons.
Right. That is true power hour. That is very true. But I think I would like to go and get one now and sit because next year we need the rookie to start probably because Tannehill probably just get one more year. But hey, we'll see. We definitely need wide receiver. Yep. How you tripping us? And one of my guys on Twitter, man, Cam, he compared the Titans to the Grizzlies grit and grind era. He was like, it's a perfect comparison.
It is.
Like we got
I said the same thing.
Yep, we got the toughness.
I retweeted it.
The grit. But we ain't got nothing to get over the top.
I guess Mike Vrabel is Lionel Hollins.
Yep.
Right.
Or what's the other guy? What's the other coach? Dave Yeager or whatever his name?
Yeager.
Yeager bomb.
Hey man, but let's finally move forward. Divisional round review. At the very least, we had 4 great games. I know probably none of us watched the Packers game. Actually, that was the most boring game because for obvious reasons. But how y'all feel about that game? If y'all even saw the game or the highlights of it? Chris go first. Truth, then Ryan.
Oh man, I didn't see the game till like the 4th quarter or so. I was still in my feelings, but the Packers, man, they kind of gave up a lot of opportunities to kind of win that game. They really should have blown them out. It should have been like 21-3. But I guess the weather played a big factor. But like y'all said, man, Jimmy G, he just knows not to make mistakes in those situations, and it kind of just caught up to him. And the block punt led to a touchdown, and it was 10-10, anybody's game. And so, I didn't, I think that the Packers, they probably had the better team. And I think they kind of like the Titans. They played a great game on defense, had a great strategy and game plan, but it's all three phases, man. And when one phase doesn't do right, it comes back on the team. So I just think that the Packers, man, they're kind of just like the Titans, man. They played a great game, but it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I saw they were 32nd on special teams this season. So that's what everybody pointed to.
Right.
It was like special team showed up. And I was like, wow.
Oh yeah, and Deebo Samuel is the truth, man. He is the truth. He is the real deal.
Yep.
I think AJ Brown. We can try to use him kind of like Deebo next year.
They the same player.
Yeah, I
very
think so.
similar. Very similar.
Player.
And I honestly, I was so. Oh my God, I was so numb in Nashville that night. I didn't even want to try to watch any football. I'm going to be honest, I didn't really watch any football this weekend. I mean, I was at an Applebee's in Nashville, and they just happened to be playing the Packers 49ers game, and I'm like, I was forced to watch pretty much. And, and then, of course, we'll probably talk about the Chiefs and Bills. I mean, I didn't really watch that until Shark and Mr. Titan was watching it.
Yeah.
That was the only reason I turned it on. I was like, other than that, I didn't really watch, but I mean, I did not. I was gonna pick the 49ers +6, so it's impressive that they did that. I really wasn't expecting it, but hey, shout out to Deebo.
Yeah.
Be like, that what bike?
I mean, I personally didn't really watch most of that game, really for the obvious reasons. I was devastated about the Titans losing. But I picked the 49ers in the last minute before that game started, simply because this was the wrong matchup for the Packers. The Packers have always been a finesse team, and usually when physical teams go in and play, rough them up a little bit, they usually lose those games. And 49ers are the perfect team. That's why Aaron Rodgers can't beat them, because 49ers are always a physical. They always want to run the football. They slow the game down, and they play the kind of style of football basically for cold weather games, for a warm weather team like San Francisco. So I'm not really surprised at that upset at all.
Yeah, same here. I'm not surprised it happened. I thought the game would be close, but still, with Jimmy G in that bad play, you're just like, man, how the heck he pull it off? But block punt for a touchdown. Deebo hand the ball, with Deebo running back,
just run the ball,
give him the ball. But, that's how they pulled it off, man. Shout out to the 49ers. They will be playing the Rams, who almost let Tom Brady have another amazing comeback. 28-3 and 27-3 this time. Tied it up. And then Matthew Stafford, and I gave him his credit. I have been the biggest Matthew Stafford critic. I went to that game. I flew out to LA to watch the Titans play the Rams. I saw him in person. I said, they did all that to trade for him. And like, he hasn't done nothing. I ain't seen him do anything in the playoffs, and we kept blaming Detroit. I'm like, maybe it was Stafford, and the rest of the season he didn't really look good. But finally, in the big moment against Tom Brady, against that, and of course the Tampa Bay's secondary was terrible. I don't know what kind of play call. I don't know what Todd Bowles was doing on that last drive, just like we don't know what the Bills were doing, but we get to that in a second. But hey, I give him his credit. He pulled it through. How y'all feel about the Rams putting it off same order?
Man, that was a crazy game. I didn't really watch that game. I was watching on my phone or whatnot. But it seemed like the Rams had all the control of the game, and then all of a sudden they kept turning the ball over or whatnot, and kind of let them back in the game. But I think that the Rams, they seem like they have the most solid team right now. I think they're a little bit more balanced than the 49ers right now. So I think if they start the way they started in that game, I think they'll probably be able to pull it out against the 49ers. But shout out to Odell Beckham's dad for getting him there. Shout out to the running back Akers, man, for coming back and all that, man, because they played a really good game. So yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really watch this game at all because I was taking that long 3-hour drive from Nashville back here, which was the longest 3-hour drive I probably ever had to drive. But I'm gonna say this, congrats to Matt Stafford, real quarterback play. Wish we had that here, but we don't have a real quarterback. And obviously, unlike another certain quarterback, Tannehill, he knew how to go to his main guns. You go to the guy that got you to the dance. He went to Cooper Kupp. He knows how to. I'm like, he force-fed Cooper Kupp, and it works out. So, congrats to them. Glad to see Golden Boy go down. As many people know, I don't like Tom Brady, never will. And so, congrats to the Rams, but I honestly did not watch much of the game.
I watched this game pretty much the entire time. I saw basically, I kind of predicted the Rams to win based off of the fact that Tampa Bay doesn't have an offensive line. Rams defensive line is elite. Got Von Miller, got Aaron Donald. They did exactly what I thought they would do. They were going to rattle Tom Brady, force Tom Brady to throw the ball like he, quicker than he would like to. But Tom almost did it, man. I was really like, I ain't gonna lie, I was real pissed off, man. I was just like, man, you gotta be kidding me, man. I was like, of course the conspiracy theories came out saying, oh, it's scripted and all that, but I was like, no, I don't think it's scripted. It's just the Rams choking, man. They just choking. But yeah, my guy Cam, shout out to Mississippi, man. Cam Akers, he was choking a little bit, but Matt Stafford did exactly what we wanted Ryan Tannehill to do. When the game is on the line, in a game that really does matter, give the ball to the guys that are going to make plays. He didn't give it to his fourth receiver or his fifth receiver. He went to his boy.
Man.
He went to the number one, the best receiver in the league right now, Cooper Kupp. He went to that guy. And I don't know what Tampa Bay was doing. You're gonna go 1-on-1 with Cooper Kupp with a safety. I really don't know. I don't know what kind of strategy that was, but that was very bold and it didn't work, obviously. So
yeah, they lost their minds on that one. But I compared that situation. So I had in the playoffs, and I'm going back to NBA again. Last year in the playoffs, the Milwaukee Bucks, they did similar what the Rams did. They made a trade. They traded Eric Bledsoe for Drew Holiday. And I think they traded some first-round picks in there. They traded like 2 or 3 first-round picks for Drew Holiday. And throughout the playoffs, Drew Holiday was kind of he was inconsistent. And it got to Game 7 against Brooklyn. I was like, okay, what was the point of that trade? I was saying the same about the Rams and Matthew Stafford. What's the point of that trade? Like, y'all still doing the same stuff. And Drew Holiday finally came through in overtime. He made like 2 or 3 big shots in overtime to help knock Brooklyn out. Matthew Stafford basically did the same thing in that game. So it kind of now it's like that one play or those one couple plays make that trade work. Now I finally saw, okay, that's why. Okay, now that trade makes sense because
kind of what we wanted Julio to do in the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah.
Tannehill throws him the ball. If Julio was in the game, why he wasn't in the game? But
he wasn't in the game, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Like I was saying, Tannehill keeps looking for everybody else but the guys he should be looking for. Exactly. I'm like, AJ and Julio should be your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th options before you even think of looking for somebody else.
Right.
Oh, man. But last game, the great one. 13 seconds, Bills. 13 seconds. I was actually cheering, rooting for y'all, hoping at the very least get the Chiefs knocked out of here. At the very least, in 13 seconds, the number one defense. All I heard all weekend, the Chiefs, Bills got a better defense. They gonna win. I couldn't tell. What y'all felt about the game? Say water again.
Man, that was a instant classic, man. Instant classic. Great game. The Bills, I feel like they blew it. They really did, because they should have had a defense set up where you're not going to let anything go past your DBs. Like, they should have had at least some more DBs out there or something. I don't know what kind of scheme they had or whatnot, but you can't let Kelsey in them. You can't, first of all, you can't let, Mahomes have all that time in the pocket. You can't, because he's getting the ball out quick. You know what I'm saying? And the DBs, I don't know what they was doing, but letting Kelsey get that big first down to get them down the field, call timeout, it was just terrible. But great quarterback play, elite quarterback play. It shows that in today's NFL, I think that elite quarterbacks trump great defenses. I think you have to have a competent elite quarterback that can manage a 2-minute drive or a 13-second drive. You know what I mean? Can make some plays. So great game. I think that I don't know, man. Josh Allen, I mean, what do y'all think about the overtime rule, man? Because it kind of, to me, I feel like the Buffalo should have got the ball, got the ball back. It should have been like college football, man. Because
I'm good.
That was a great game, man. I want to see that game go further.
I'm good with it. They had no one defense.
Exactly. I'm like this. And I was gonna make a post about this because I see a lot of people saying they should change the overtime rule. Buffalo didn't get a chance. I'm like, none of y'all was complaining about this overtime rule all year long. Now y'all want to complain because it's this.
Exactly.
Come on. The overtime rule is just fine the way it is. If Buffalo was as good as they say they are, they would have stopped them and got the ball back. Exactly. I mean, but that's the gamble. That's the gamble with overtime. And, I mean, it would have been the same with us. I mean, shoot, there would have been a chance if we had made it to overtime, it would have been a chance if Joe Burrow got the ball, we would have not seen the ball again. It was a very good chance that could have happened. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is, and I only watched like the last 2 minutes of the game because I was kind of forced to watch it. Shark. I was forced to watch it.
It was good though.
But I mean, 25 points in like a minute and a half.
Crazy.
Is incredible. And the fact that Patrick Mahomes gets the ball with 13 seconds left and still get in the field goal range. Like, who does that? There's no way that happens. Most quarterbacks would have been like, okay, take a shot across the middle, get down, call timeout, Hail Mary, or something. But I'm like, wow. That was just back and forth incredible, that last 2 minutes. Buffalo scored, then Kansas City scored, then Buffalo scored again. I'm like, J-Rob, Vrabel, that's what real quarterbacks look like. Right there. That's what real offenses look like.
Right.
Like, that's heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking, but I prefer to lose how Buffalo lost. At least I could have went to next season like, hey, let's run it back. We just got to play good in the last 13 seconds.
I'm with you 100% on that. I'm like, if we played the game the way Buffalo played that game and lost, I'd have been like, it would have been heartbreaking, but it's like, hell of a game.
Went down swinging,
Exactly.
Hell of a game.
We didn't give it away.
I mean, I cried for our defense. I'm like, defense played their tail off. Played a great game. Offense let them down.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched this game. I was kind of back and forth because I was coming in on Truth Show and then watching the game at the same time. So I was doing both things. So I was just like, oh, man, it's, just an instant classic. Bills really blew it, though. I was rooting for the Bills, too. Yeah. I thought the Bills really had it in the bag. There was a comment on there, Lorenzo. Definitely, they should have Squill kicked that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, definitely. That would have definitely wasted about 4 or 5 seconds. Then basically you have one play to get it done. And as great as Mahomes is, as great of a play caller as Andy Reid, they're not getting in field goal range with one play. The way the time was going to roll with the squill kick. So. Kansas City, I mean, we had to deal with New England for 20 years and all that luckiness and all the mystique and everything. Looks like Kansas City's going through that same stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So they're the chosen ones.
Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
We had our shot. Yeah.
It's Buffalo.
Tannehill. Thanks, Tannehill.
Man, and just to think they shut down Stephon Diggs, 7 yards.
That's
rough. The other receiver, number 13, went off though.
Gave
4 TDs. 4 TDs.
I remember him. He used to go off on Memphis. I remember him very clearly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
man, that was a great game.
Wait a minute, for Central Florida.
Yep.
Now I know what you're talking about.
That year we went to double OT with him. Yeah, he was on the team.
Man, that was a heck of a game. That was a heck of a game.
Oh man,
yeah,
that was nice.
Broke my heart.
But like I said, that broke our heart. But at least that game, after we lost, it was still like, man, that was a great game. We went like
you watch our game, you get mad.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was mad. Yeah, like we weren't mad at Memphis. We was like, bro, they went out swinging. That was a game.
You're sitting there like, what could have been?
Right.
Oh man, but let's
Yeah,
get to
don't watch that fourth quarter, man. Just
man. Hey, I saw somebody say on Twitter, and they was like, "Bro, there's no way Cincinnati didn't supposed to get the ball back. That literally overtime or
Exactly.
field goal. Like, how did they get the ball back? Tannehill,
Tannehill.
oh man." When he said, think about this, Andy Reid has worked with Favre and now Cobb. I remember Kevin Cobb.
Kevin Cobb. Oh, wait.
I remember there was a real debate about Kevin Cobb and Michael Vick starred. That was crazy. Crazy time.
Wow.
All right.
Going on the Cobb.
Let's get the championship week predictions. Let's start with the NFC. What Scott kind of alluded to a little bit, Chris did earlier. So who y'all got? Rams, 49ers. Remember, the 49ers are 2-0 versus the Rams this year, but hard to beat a team 3 times. But who you got? It's reverse. Ryan, Truth, then Chris.
Man, this was tough. I ain't gonna even lie. I was kind of back and forth on this because if it's one coach or one team that really got Sean McVay's number, it's the 49ers. They won, I believe, like 6, 7 in a row against Sean McVay. And I mean, Kyle Shanahan knows McVay like the back of his hand, man. But I'm gonna go with the Rams because I just think the Rams just got the better team, the better roster. They're a more complete team. If it really going to come down to the quarterbacks, which quarterback you going to really trust? Do you trust Jimmy G to make a big play, or do you trust Matt Stafford? And I seen Matt Stafford basically.
No,
no, but basically, man, it's gonna come down to which quarterback gonna make the big throw. I seen Matt Stafford do it against the Bucs. I haven't seen Jimmy G really do it yet in the playoffs, so I'm going with Matt Stafford. So I'm going with the Rams.
Shout out to my late father, who is a huge San Francisco 49ers fan when he was alive, and we battled through tough times and things like that, and everything. Love the 49ers and love what they've done, but it's hard to be the team 3 times in a row. It's hard to be the team 3 times in a row, and I honestly think, I can see them shocking the world, but I think the Cinderella story comes to an end for Jimmy G. I'm going Rams too.
Yeah, I agree with y'all, man. It's hard to beat the same team 3 times in a row in a season. I think that the Rams defense is heating up. I think that Jimmy G, it's going to come down to him if he can win the game or not, which I don't think he can. So I'm going with the Rams to win. It'll be a really, really close game because Deebo Samuel, he has the potential to take over that game. I really think he can in many, many different ways, but I think the Rams are going to pull it out ultimately.
Low key, we need the Rams to pull it out because I can't see the 49ers in no Super Bowl. Not with Jimmy G. I can't see that again. I saw that 2 years ago with him against the Chiefs, and they were up 20-10. And this man, and I think Chiefs got 30-15. Then he had a 3rd and 6, and I don't know what kind of pass he threw on that play, and it was like, he ain't it. Pat Mahomes can't make one Super Bowl. So, no, we need the Rams to win. I've been against the Rams all year. This is probably the first time I'm probably picking them since the Titans game. Any pick. So, they were up. And what's crazy? They were up 17-0 in the last game of the season. The 49ers had to win that game to make the playoffs, and they came back and beat the Rams in overtime.
Oh, okay.
Matthew Stafford choked it away. After what Matthew Stafford did last week, he can't choke it away this week. So give me the Rams and watch they go out and lose after I pick them. But give me the Rams. I can see it now. Yeah, I like what Power Hour said, man. Rams Chiefs revisit 2018. That Monday Night Football game. That
would be a fun one.
Yeah. I would love to see that, man.
That would be a fun one.
We deserve that game. We deserve it.
Yeah, let's get to the last pick, man. Bengals and Chiefs. Same order.
Man, you know what? I'm not one of those fans that wish the other team, the team that beat my team to lose. But I am in this case because I really don't like Eli Apple. If you seen his Twitter account with the things he's saying about Julio and New Orleans Saints and the Giants and all that, I don't like that guy. So I really want him to lose. And personally, I think it's going to be close. I think Cincinnati is not going to be afraid of the moment, in my opinion, because of Burrow and the way that he plays. But I think the moment is going to be too large for that young team, and I think Kansas City going to do their thing. And I say the Kansas City wins about, I say 34-23.
You know what? My brother's not going to let me hear the end of this, and I cannot believe I'm going to say this. I'm going with the Cinderella story. I think I'm going with Smoking Joe Cool because Joe Cool made a believer out of me. I mean, I liked him at LSU, and him and Jamar Chase, they'll put up points. They will put up more points than they did in this game against a weaker defense. The Chiefs defense is not as good as the Titan defense. Let's just be for real. We don't know if Tyrann Mathieu is going to be playing in this next game, depending on what happened. But Joe Burrow knows how to play in big games. Joe Burrow knows how to play in big games. Jamar Chase has been in big games. They know how to win. And, I mean, they made a believer out of me. I mean, the dude took 9 sacks and still kept ticking like nothing was wrong. So I'm going with the upset with the Bengals, and I'm just going to go 31-27. I think the Bengals, Rams, and I think that might be a pretty good one too.
That's a one too.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah, you took my thunder, man, because I just think that I'm not a conspiracy theorist, nothing like that, but I am, the NFL loves storylines. And what better storyline than Burrow coming from the injury he came from in his first full season, taking his team on the road, in hostile territory, is like David and Goliath. So I really think that I can see that game coming down to whoever has the ball last, kind of like his last game. And because of the balance of the Cincinnati Bengals offense, where they can run and throw the ball, I think they can control the time of possession to keep Mahomes on the sideline. So I think that'll be a really cool strategy if they use that to their advantage, because Burrow, man, he just throw those slants, man, 10 yards and wear their defense down. You know what I'm saying? And they can run. I know they can run the ball like that. They can run the ball with Mixon. So I can see that happening, man. But I'm going with the Bengals, man, in overtime, 30-27.
Yeah. I mean, it should, honestly enough, it should be Titans, Chiefs. We should be talking AFC Championship.
Yeah.
That's what we should be talking about, but still.
Facts power hour. But
that's what I told my brother. I told my brother, if they fix an offensive line, I said this. You got Bills and Chiefs. You got Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes just sprinting together, but now they're finna start looking behind them like, here comes Joe Cool. He's gonna sneak up behind him.
And watch out for Justin Herbert. That dude,
Herbert too.
Yeah, that dude, he's a stud. Like he's gonna be the future. I'm telling y'all. Justin Herbert.
Jones.
Yes.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones too. Yep.
Jones.
Trevor Lawrence. It's a lot of good young quarterbacks, man.
Titans better figure something out, or they're gonna be left in the dust.
Yep.
You're right. How I feel about the Chargers, they always choke every year. Like Justin Herbert is great, but they always find a way. Like I know we choke every year, but the Chargers do on like another level.
They choke every game.
All they had to do was let the Raiders beat the clock out, and they would have been in.
They would have played the Chiefs. They wouldn't have played the Chiefs in the first round.
And they beat the
I think they would have upset
in the last game.
Yeah.
All they had to do, they did not have to call that timeout.
Wow.
Crazy, man. I used to always call them the AFC version of the Cowboys. I always like the Cowboys and Chargers were like the same team to me. They do the same stuff every year. Guess you can add the Titans to the list now.
Yeah, we're the new Cowboys of the AFC without the rings and prestige and all that.
Exactly.
And you know what? I gotta blame myself because y'all know this. On my show, I belittled a whole bunch of Cowboy fans, and I was praying that I wasn't gonna jinx. I didn't jinx what happened, and then this stuff happened.
Came back on you, man.
Karma's Karma's a you know what. I'm like, God. Tells me to shut my mouth from now on.
Hey, well, for my pick, give me the Chiefs in a close one. I just think experience wins out, but I am rooting for the Bengals. I'm the type of person, when you lose to a team, I want the team to win because then it validates, we lost to the actual team and won championship. That makes me feel a little bit better. If the Bengals going to win the Super Bowl, now I can say, you know what? We lost to the Super Bowl champs. Right? Like 2 years ago, we lost to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
They won the Super Bowl. We lost to the champs. Cool. You know, hey, at least I know, at least we lost to the champs, right? Although we still should have won, but I could take that better than the Chiefs winning it again. But it'll be crazy if the Chiefs and Rams play because, like Philip had alluded to, the Rams will be back-to-back years where the conference champ will play in their own stadium. And this will be the second straight year the Chiefs will have to go on the road in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
They had played at Tampa Bay last
true.
year and go to LA this year. So that'll be like kind of messed up, but hilarious at the same time. He said, bro, must be smoking something you get from Nino Brown if you think they going KC winning with their O-line. Chiefs going. I can see. The Chiefs do got pretty decent D-line, but they ain't going to get no 9-11 sacks. We really had 11 sacks, but
right.
9 that was that counted. But to his point, I could see that happening. I can't wait till the Bengals come back to Nissan. Yes. I'm probably going to that game.
Yeah,
I got to
come back. Yeah.
That's a Bengals fan. We got to hit that.
We got to play Buffalo on the road and Kansas City on the road too, probably next year.
Yep. We got a lot of good quarterbacks to play.
Yeah, a lot of them.
It's the best time we play Buffalo on the road. We played them at home the last 3 years, literally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Play Herbert too. Got to play Herbert too.
Yeah, that whole division.
Oh, really?
Don't we have to play the Pack? Well, Aaron Rodgers might not
be there. The Pack.
We play the North. Okay.
I thought it was the East.
We played the East, but the 17th game you played the first place. Like this year we played the Saints, so next year I think it's the Packers. I need to look again if I ain't mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is the Packers who play.
Yeah, I think we played the Cowboys at home. We played
East and West.
Yeah,
I think we play East and West.
Mm-hmm. But before we end off, before I let y'all pull up y'all show, I do got a hilarious video that I did post on Twitter last night. That if you didn't get the chance to check out, you about to see it right now. Well, I post Twitter and it's on YouTube as well. That's how we all feel about Tannehill. That's how we all feel about Tannehill.
Oh my God! If I had a picture of Tannehill, I'd probably do something like this. Be like Tannehill, just want to pour it up.
2 years in a row, man.
Oh man, you might say he laughed at the coach kid. If J-Rod got Andrew Luck out tap, nah, he looked, man. I saw him at the national championship game. He was happy. He just smiled. He lost weight. He was just happy. He looked like he was smiling. He looked good, man. I don't think Andrew Luck coming back. He chilling.
No, I don't think he's coming back. Nah,
I don't think so either.
That'd be hilarious though. But before we end off, man, let y'all put up y'all shows, y'all Twitter handles where people can follow you at. Truth, you go first, followed by Ryan and then Chris.
All right. Well, everybody, appreciate y'all letting me on. Shout out to P. Shaw for letting me come on. Chris, Ryan, glad to be with y'all. Y'all know y'all can check me out on Titans in Truth on YouTube. And just put out the post game where I went off. Shark knows about it. Check me out there on YouTube, on Facebook, under the Titans in Truth official page. TNT Enforcers is the fan page. On Twitter at TNT Blue Enforcer, that's with the number 4. And on Instagram at Titans_in_truth. Coming out with I think I'm gonna do a show Wednesday, kind of give out my end of the year awards and kind of talking about what's next after that. So definitely come check me out. Won't regret it. And I appreciate y'all having me. I'll holler.
So
yeah, man. Likewise, man. Appreciate my brother Shark, Chris, both Chris. My fellow Memphians. You know what I'm saying. So of course you can follow me, Ryan Harris 662 on Twitter. Of course, I got a podcast as well called The Jump Pass. Of course, not hard to find is Derrick Henry doing the jump pass at the game, at the Ravens game in that 2019-2020 playoff game. You can follow me. You can follow my podcast as well at the Jump Pass TN. I do a show pretty much every week. I got my brother P Shark gonna be on the next episode, so be on the lookout for that. We're gonna basically talk about the same thing,
Right.
and we're just gonna talk about the same thing. But if you
therapy,
like,
man.
Yeah, it's
Right.
therapy, great therapy. It's great therapy and everything. So subscribe to the show, subscribe to me, and you won't be disappointed with the content. So I really appreciate the P Shark and everybody just bringing me in and talking Titans football, Titans therapy.
Shout out to P Shark, man, for inviting me on here, man. It's an honor. Shout out to Ryan and everything y'all got going on with y'all YouTube channels. I'm not a YouTuber or anything like that, but man, y'all are doing some great things. And shout out to Chris. It's nice meeting you guys, man. And you can follow me on Twitter at Christ Lives in Me, or on Instagram CDillard2_. I'm also on Facebook, Christopher A. Dillard. So just shout me out.
Yep. Had the pastor on tonight, man.
Right.
Had to get him on.
Amen.
But man, shout out to everybody who commented. Shout out to everybody who tuned in who probably didn't comment. I do notice like you be people who tune into the show that don't comment. So shout out to everybody who tunes in. Philip, enjoy the show. We'll be back. Brian, appreciate you. Power Hour. Shout out to you for tuning in. Great show that you just did right before my show. So shout out, man. Y'all please subscribe to Power Hour, man. He does great stuff every Monday. It's 6 o'clock. Ian, you always tune in. You and Ryan, normally the people in the comments every episode, but just not have Ryan on. So, Mr. Him, Lorenzo, shout out to you.
I gotta get in on that.
Yep. Shout out to Lorenzo. I know we interact with you. I interact with you on Twitter quite a bit. He said follow him, man. Mr. Clean Zoe, man. Definitely check him out.
So good to meet you, man.
Yeah, he really, really good follow. And anybody else who tuned in who I may be forgetting, Nick, CS3, man, appreciate you. Y'all know I'm gonna keep it rolling, get some more guests. Last year I kind of took a break, but this year I got to keep it pushing. Got to get these subscribers up, get these numbers up. Remember to hit the subscribe button on YouTube. If you prefer audio, still got the audio version. So I'm on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, you name it. And remember to follow me, LBR Tighten Up, and personal account, Dowan_P Shark. If you're a Grizzlies fan, got a Grizzlies podcast for you. Starting at 5 MEM, the number 5 MEM. We come out every Monday. Had a new episode drop today. Grizzlies doing great things. So if you need to get over the Titans, you can come on over to the Memphis Grizzlies. Ja Morant is definitely gonna show you something exciting. Even in losses, he's gonna show you something. I've seen it.
I got Ja.
Man, boy. Oh, yeah, he said go Titans, Q Hotel. Yup, appreciate you, Al Pierce, as well, tuning back in, man. But until next time, y'all. Let's tighten up, I guess.
Tighten up.
That's all we know how to do, y'all.
Right.